I think that whatever form of meditation or prayer, I think needs to be part of it. Meditation saved me.
Tell me more about that. I want to know more. My meditation is running.
Yeah.
I don't know much more about meditation though, and I'm actually very interested. So
literally saved me. I don't need to get into the details of it, but I had been in such a depressive.
No, please do get into details if you
want. So that back to that lightness that kind of happened in Canada. I was in a dark place. I had, almost gotten arrested because I beat some guy up. I had gotten cut from the NFL. I was down. Just not, my identity was tied to Quinton Porter should be this NFL guy that I had built that identity back when I was 6 years old, and that identity died. But I felt like I had died. I was miserable, and I'm up in Canada. I'm living in some apartment, and what am I doing, right? And then luckily I realized I was so down. It was down. And why am I down? What's going on? I read a couple books. One that was one of my dad's books, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which kind of opens up this concept of Zen, which I had never even talked about. And then I read an Eckhart Tolle book, or thought about, but I read an Eckhart Tolle book, which basically builds up about the ego. Like what this built up idea of what you are is this story. It's literally a story of what you are as a person. And there's this world out there that thinks of you as this person, and you have this past and this storyline, and you have some idea of this future, and that's what you are. None of that actually is what you are. None of that. It's literally a story. What you are, and it keeps building it up. And then when he said, and I'm like, what am I? He's like, the book's building up to it. I'm like, well, okay, then what? I get it. Yes, this all makes sense. But what am I then? And he was like, you are consciousness with a capital C. And I was like, I'm consciousness with a capital C, just like you are. Like that's what this is. That's what I is. And I'm like, and it brings it into, because meditation is basic, or prayer. Prayer is like you're getting in the state of meditation essentially, but directing intention in some way. But meditation is actually just being what you are. Thoughts will come, thoughts will go, and literally all the past, the future of what you are, and this ego is just this idea of what we are. We've literally generated in our brains. It's not there. It's not even true. It's literally an illusion. There's nothing to it. It's not true. What's true is this, and us being consciousness of this moment. This is it. This is all there ever is. It freed it all up. And then I played the best football of my life after that, because I didn't care. I wasn't attached to anything. I was just playing, right? So I would imagine in the context of, running, right? It's like a microcosm of that same thing. So you're running and you're like, oh, my knees hurt. This sucks. And then the thoughts start coming. It's sort of like a very specific version of an ego being like, oh, I'm tired. And it's got all its things that it wants to say. But like JT said, like you're saying, there actually isn't a limit. Your body can just keep going. It's the thoughts that can come in. That those thoughts are literally just figments. They're nothing. It's something that our brain does in the front of our brain that has no impact. It's literally nothing. What something is this, these things, like this table that this computer is sitting on. This is it. It's energy. It's, things moving. That this is what is happening. So for me, to answer the question back to a perfect day, my perfect day is, because I'm not always doing this, by the way, because I've got a million things happening. But if I can sit and I can wake up and I've got time to just be like, give it 10 minutes. Like if I can't give 10 minutes to what I deem something important, which is meditating in this case, then what am I doing? I'm so caught up in all sorts of million things that I don't even have 10 minutes to sit in what's real. What's real is this moment. So here we go. I just sit, breathe, and million thoughts will come up, but you just let them go. You don't stay with them. Just let the brain do what the brain does. But what I am, what it is, what this is here. It's always going to be here. It's never gone away. It was here before I was born. It's going to be here after I die. It's here. Okay, here we are. And then I get up and I'm like, okay, now what do I got to do? I got like 6 emails to respond to. I got to get a contract out. It's Quinny's birthday today. All the things start coming, but those things become much easier. It's light. You travel lighter through those things, whatever that day needs you to do, because you're already back and resetted. I try to do it before bed too, right? Because then you like set yourself and you're not like, churning in your head before you go to bed. It's amazing how hard it is to actually get yourself to do that though. So yeah, my perfect day is I wake up, I have 10 minutes where I'm sitting.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So your days are better when you do meditate, correct?
I travel lighter throughout the day for sure.
So let me ask you, why doesn't it happen every day?
Right. Yeah. So the days it doesn't happen is like, oh, I slept a little bit longer. Oh man, I got to get that email out, and then I got this, and then it's instantly already, all the things are going already. And I'm like, okay, forget the meditating part. Now I'm on to it. And then I realize it's 6 p.m. and I got to go pick up the kids. And now it's already right. And sometimes it just happens. That's my, it's when I'm not on top of my game.
But logically, if you'd taken those 10 minutes,
right,
everything else would have been better.
Or just wake up 10 minutes earlier,